This is the culture.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cinema Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Mark Jacobino. I'm joined by Mike Peniston.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And Vinny Albano.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about Solo Leveling, Episode 7. Let's see how far this can go. I think that's what it's called. It's a really long and obnoxious title. This is Episode 7. We took a break from recording for a week. Luckily, they decided to do a recap episode. For some reason, they needed to recap Episode 7 episodes into a show. But they did that. I don't know. Maybe it's giving them extra time to animate some of the later episodes. Whatever it is, we're going to be talking about just Episode 7 today. And this episode, mostly a boss battle. We do get some world building with Jin Woo and Jin Ho talking about starting a guild. So just want to jump in. What were you guys' overall thoughts on this very battle-focused episode, but also some world building up front?
I definitely thought that as far as the battle sequence, I felt like this was visually some of the best that we've seen for sure. I feel like even just like fighting choreography that like Jin Woo just like displayed was just like the best for sure that we see. I mean, it made sense. Like he's for sure at this point like the highest level that he could get for the time being, and so like it made sense. But I just felt like this was what I really wanted to see in episode 6, and that I thought we would have seen in that episode. And so I really liked the battle element of this. The world element as well I felt like, I guess it definitely was important and it played a big role, but the battle sequence was just so good that it kind of just like was the major spotlight for me. And so definitely. I like this episode a lot.
I agree. I think this episode was it was a banger. I like seeing that. I know we mentioned on previous episodes of the cast how like I wanted to see more of that internal relationship with the mother and the sister. Like, did we just forget about them? But no, like Jin Woo actually has a really nice moment with his sister, and they go running and they also eat chicken together. And I just think that was very like, I'm glad that they had that. It felt more grounded. I also like more of that world building aspect with the guilds and also the debuffs, how he's drinking the alcohol, and that's giving him debuffs, and that's really interesting. And I'm also curious, like the more detailed aspect of like how that works. What could give you debuffs if you eat too much McDonald's? Does that give you a debuff? Like, you know what I mean? So I thought it was a banger. I also really like how this is a real trial for Jin Woo here, because he's able to defeat the three-headed dog like guardian boss. However, there's more, and this is like he says this is almost the equivalent of an S rank dungeon. So I like that he is just getting obliterated here. You know, he's close to dying multiple times. We see that he kind of pulls through just barely. You know, he revives himself with full recovery, and then he actually uses the shop for the first time to buy healing potions. So I'm just really curious what's to come out of this pseudo dungeon. And I like that we're seeing more trial here compared to last episode where there was no trial at all. Like everything, it was easy breeze for him. And also this gives us more of motivation towards the whole why Jin Woo even is a hunter to begin with, is to pay off his mom's medical bills, which was something I mentioned in the previous pet cast as well, where I didn't want that to be forgotten. So hearing that there's a antidote to all illness that is, capable, if he works his way through this dungeon, he gathers all the rewards. He can make this antidote to save his mother. That gives us clear motivation and a clear objective. Like, okay, this is how we're gonna get to it. This is how we're gonna solve the problem, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, that was my overall thoughts. But
Did you catch that, Mikey? He shortened podcast down to cast. One of our previous casts. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard that. And it was smooth.
That was pretty cool. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Check out some previous casts. I like it. Yeah. No, I agree with both of you. I thought the battle was visually stunning for like a big boss battle. What I was hoping for against the spider. Really enjoyed seeing it here. It felt like an Elden Ring boss. You're just fighting a boss that's way over your level, like Dark Souls-esque, and he's just popping everything he has to survive and kill this thing. He's like, shit, okay, healing potion, that's not working.
Yeah.
I'll throw on the poison thing. So I liked that aspect. It's really leading into the game aspect of the show. And yeah, we see Jin Ho and his motivation, why he's a hunter. Like, he wants to, prove his worth to his father, and kind of compete against his brother, because his brother, I guess, was older. Is that what they said? His brother was older and is going to like inherit the construction company. And he's like, oh, well, I want to be useful to my father in this way. So, yeah, I thought it was really cool. And I love the visuals for the fight. I thought there was like great momentum. Like, the dog was on him. Like, any second that dog was like on you. So, yeah, this was a really cool part of the Mawa, this whole elixir of life quest he's on, like, that could potentially like save his mother. It's really cool. Like, I like that they're doing this part justice, because this is a very visually intense aspect of the Mawa. So yeah, this was really cool. And going back to the debuffs, I think it was more so showing that like he's impervious to poison. Like, anytime he drinks alcohol, his body, like I guess the program cleanses the alcohol, it breaks down the alcohol, so he doesn't get drunk, because he drinks it all and he's like, I don't feel drunk, I don't feel. So I think he has like from fighting the other bosses, like, he got this buff where he's not affected by poison.
okay.
So I think it's like that's what that was trying to show.
Okay, yeah. I was a little I guess I didn't catch it all with the because it was very brief. Like, it was on the screen for, and then he was also like talking, so I was trying to read the subtitles while also reading what was going on there. So
It is.
yeah.
Would those things be like popping up?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh snap! You read that.
It is
Yeah.
information overload sometimes. Yeah, I think so. One thing I wanted to ask you guys about: what do you guys think about the daily quest system and how he can go over his allotted quest? Like, he can run 20 miles instead of 10 miles. Like, what did you guys think about that?
I definitely thought that it was interesting, mainly because it's like Loki's such a cheat. It really is. So just to be honest, like, he is cheating the system so hard right now. Like, and it's like, and honestly, like, this episode, I will say, this episode was the episode where, again, like you said, it was like the first time we really had to see like a trial for him. Like, we really had to see it, like, what the states were. So I like say that despite like it being a cheat, like the odds that he's up against with a lot of these things are like no other person really is really even attempting like these sort of quests and things. And so I definitely feel like that backs it up to a degree. But it still is like wild that he could like just go past all of these things. And I definitely think, because I think at one point he even acknowledged like, oh, like I could be greater than an S rank or something like that, or a specific rank and stuff like that. And I think that was the first time I think he really realized like just the capability that he has with everything going on. And so I thought that was an interesting detail as far as what, everything going on right now, and obviously the state of the future of Jin Woo and this level up system.
Yeah.
I agree. I really enjoyed, honestly, the moment when he finds out, like, oh my god, like I could get like a secret quest, I could cheat the system. Because what it feels like is when you're playing a video game and you find out like the little Easter egg.
Mm.
And that's what it felt like here. That same feeling was just like ignited in me. I was like, oh shit, we found an Easter egg. We found it. And that was like exciting. I really liked that moment. But yeah, I think for me, like the just kind of going back to the boss battle.
Yeah.
The and I don't want to get like too off topic here, but I don't know if it was because I was watching this on a different monitor this time, but the colors were so beautiful in this episode. I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's a different monitor, different color processing. However, like they were popping in the contrast between the orange and just like this overwhelming, I feel like it's been a very blue show.
Yes. Yes.
You kind of associate it to because his character is blue. So I enjoyed like this hellish landscape where everything is red and on fire and orange. That was just a little thing I wanted to point out.
Yeah,
So,
no, definitely the colors were going crazy. I love when his eyes start going blue, like they glow blue. And this voice actor, he's just giving it his all. Like he is screaming, like in pain when he's attacking. Like there is so much passion in this that, like he's making Aaron Yeager scream feel like so basic. Like this guy is giving it his all. So
yeah.
there's a lot of intensity, and I'm very curious how he continues to move forward with this character, because he's definitely worked in that deeper voice a lot, even with his sister. Like when he's talking to her, it's like very low tone talking to her, and he's still like leveling up, so it could even get deeper and deeper. So I'm curious to see how far he goes with it. But yes, the colors were really great here. Again, A1 Pictures definitely showing what they can do, and it made me very confident as a Mawa reader that when they get to those bigger battles, like I'm confident that they'll be able to pull it off. Like I feel like the battles before this were good, but I was like, they really need to nail the large scale stuff. And I think this was like the first moment where I was like, okay, yes, okay, we can do this. This is good. But yeah, I like that he pushes himself. We see him take on an S rank. I like when, shows establish like a ceiling, or like at least what a ceiling might look like. So you know what he's working towards now. And we see, if this is close to an S rank boss, like that kind of shows you how powerful other S-rank hunters might be. And we've seen a couple S-rank hunters hinted at, but we haven't seen them go full force. So that's really exciting to see. We get to see the bandit, or like the thief's brother in this for a split second. He talks about, all right, give me their files. Again, bringing in that geopolitical aspect, because he's like, how long is the expediting process if I were to commit murder in another country?
Yeah.
So I don't think they said what country he's in currently, but again, it's just bringing in that global perspective, which I think is interesting. Yeah, Jinho, how do you guys feel about Jinho and his his motivation? He's not just like a comic relief, but now we're getting a little bit deeper look into what he wants to do, and what do you kind of expect out of him moving forward?
I like it. I like it because, like we mentioned in the previous episode, like I wanted him to be. I think we shared the same feeling, Mikey and I. Like wanted him to be expanded upon. Nice to have a comedic relief, but also have a comedic relief that has depth and layers to him, and not just be forgotten. So I like this, and I'm curious if Jin Woo is ever going to come back to that offer that was given to him, because we can't forget about him just now. So I'm curious if a guild really will come out of this,
Right.
So
are you surprised by his coldness, like towards him?
Sort of, kind of. I am, but not fully, just because of just like where we are now. I guess with everything going on, it's kind of expected. Sadly to say, that coldness is a little bit expected. But I definitely, as far as Jinho's character, I feel like you said, like we wanted more for sure, and I felt like this was the perfect way. to deliver that without necessarily having to introduce a lot more, do things like that. I feel like for both these characters, knowing that a parent figure is what is kind of driving both of them. I feel like that you could never really go wrong with that.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, right. So, and it's two different circumstances. I feel like that, you know, are very relatable as terms of just like family and, you know, things like that. And just wanting to kind of like be there, kind of like prove yourself in like a family sort of setting. And so I definitely appreciate that, and I definitely, it helps me to see more of the comparisons between Jin Woo and Jin Ho, for sure. And so I definitely appreciated that, and I definitely do think that a guild will one come out of this. I do think that at this point we've met a lot of characters and they've teased characters, and so I definitely could see something being established as far as just the group of people that we're interacting with. I don't know yet though. You know, at this point, I'm gonna just let things play out because who knows what could happen.
I totally agree with you, Mikey. I think that having, like, it is a trope, but having just a strong motivation connected to family, it's always going to hit hard for people. I feel in East Asian cultures too, like family is very important. So it really hits home there. All right, so before we wrap up, however, I do want to shout out some key animators.
Woo. Oh yeah.
So this fight was just filled with some awesome cuts. So I'm just gonna like list out just a bunch of names because there's a lot of people that worked on this and a lot of awesome cuts here. First, Mijay Lee. Just awesome. Mijay Lee worked on a handful of cuts here. Same with Takafumi Tori, who did a handful of cuts on the previous episodes. Hiroto Nishizawa. And we have Sangwoo No, as well as Satoru Shira. Oh my god, I apologize. Sutaru Shiraishi, who also worked on previous episodes, as well as Koya Yumichi, which I haven't heard their name. I think, at least on here, they're only credited for this one cut. So I don't know if they're a new key animator or on the team, or maybe their work has not been recognized as of yet. But it's just a super cool fight. Definitely just a lot of cool stuff here. We have Jin Woo just running and just trying to brutalize this dog here, just, you know, stabbing the dog, and we have a lot of cool camera movement involved there within the animation, which I really appreciate. So obviously the key animators, like, shout them out. They're doing the hard work.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I remember there was a specific shot in the battle scene. It was almost like a 180 sort of arc, like where it was like the camera was going around, and it was like Jin Woo was just like bouncing up and down, and it was just like, I just had to like kind of like shout that one shot out, just because I remember it. I just remembered it, and it stood out so much to me. But yeah, no, just so much beautiful animation all around. And then like the whole what's it called? Him drinking the
like snake venom or
snake
something.
Venom. Yeah. You know, I also wonder at what point, you know, will we actually see some of these level up things maybe not benefit him? And, you know, maybe, you know, at any point when that could affect, you know, maybe it could have like a bad sort of reaction on him, and like maybe it could level down him. Who knows what we could see. So
I like it.
I'm curious to see what's next.
Yeah, I like it. All right, well, great. I thought that was a great, quick little discussion on this episode. We're definitely not covering the recap episode because it's only been 7 episodes, but definitely excited to go into this last quarter of the season. It's 12 episodes in total. We're already going into episode 8, which is pretty crazy to say. We've been doing this for already 7 weeks, which has been really fun. But yeah, if you don't already follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at CinemaWave Media. You could also follow us at the same handle on TikTok, Facebook, and Threads. And you could also follow us at _CultureWave Media on Instagram as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Solo Leveling this week or any of the previous weeks. We've been doing weekly episodes. So yeah, I'm signing off as Mark Iacovino. And I'm joined by... We're doing so much technical stuff.
We're making it work. We're making it work, guys.
And Vinny Albano, I don't know if it even...
You're like half a corner. Yeah, there we go. That's good.
And I'm Vinny Albano.
And I'm Michael Peniston.
Get out of here. Bye.